Hello, everybody. This is Eliu.
And this is Peter.
And you're listening to Pineapple Chunks.
Yep. And today was a killer day in the markets. It was great for Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin hits $50,000 for the first time in history.
Little like kiss, a little smooch. But a lot of people are skeptical. A lot of people are saying it's going to come back down. It's in due for a correction. I'm still full of hopium. I still think it's going to keep going up. $50,000 is still undervalued for crypto. I mean, for Bitcoin. Crypto as a whole, though, has been doing phenomenal.
Yeah,
Markets.
that's actually what we're going to be talking about, really. Like a new kind of crypto.
A new kind of crypto, specifically NFTs or non-fungible tokens. And we're also going to talk about its involvement in eGaming and how eGaming is a crazy industry right now and how NFTs can help. So let's get right into it.
So firstly and foremost, Chamath, the holy Chamathematics, Chamath the man, the new Warren Buffett, as he is self-proclaimed, has started investing in NFTs. And let's just watch this quick little minute video. Oh, you can't even hear it. Let me just put up the volume.
And that's really good for everybody.
In addition to Bitcoin, which coins, if you will, cryptocurrencies, digital assets, are you a holder of? Are you a believer in?
Well, I will be publishing this soon. I am building a fairly sizable portfolio of what are called NFTs, non-fungible tokens, some digital art, some virtual trading cards. And these may sound crazy to some, but I do think that that's the next frontier of digital currency and digital assets. And so I have been building a portfolio. My decision is the team and I will announce it. We will publicize everything we own, and we will make our holdings transparent so that folks can track along and see it.
All right, thank you so much, Chamath. Yeah, it does sound absolutely bonkers because we're talking about digital art like CryptoKitties.
It's a far out idea, but I mean, Bitcoin was a far out idea, and he owned 5% of it at one point. So Chamath, I mean, he's known for these crazy out there ideas, and a lot of them end up working out spectacularly. I mean, he's in a great position right now. His credibility is off the roofs. And hearing that made me realize that, wow, okay, NFT might be the new frontier, and I think we should all be getting a piece of that pie. So let's start by actually describing what fungibility is. So in economics, fungibility is the characteristic of goods or commodities where each individual unit is interchangeable and indistinguishable from each other. So a non-fungible token is the opposite of that, right? You can think of basketball cards, works of art, any collectible item, really, where you cannot really exchange that for the same value in something in the same category. For example, one basketball card or baseball card has a different value than another baseball card. You can't really exchange them because they're not the same. So
right, exactly. It's like a non-fungible is just uniqueness and a piece of art, just like these cats, these CryptoKitties. This CryptoKitty is never going to be the same as this one, and they have a unique ID. And the blockchain, since it's so immutable, allows for this, certificate of authenticity in regard to non-fungible assets. And fungibility, it sounds like a crazy term, but like $1 is always going to be the value, no matter if this dollar is, number 6 or whatever, or whatever the serial number is. Another dollar is still going to be worth the same amount. This is a dollar coin; it's still going to be worth the same amount as this dollar. So it's fungible. You can use it in many different facets, and it's still always going to have the same value.
But a thing like a painting, like the Mona Lisa, for example, the original Mona Lisa is not going to have or contain the same value as a printed copy of the Mona Lisa.
Right. I mean, it might look nice and it might feel similar, but it's not going to have that authenticity to it. And that's really big in the art world, very big in the art world. And it's also, you know, becoming more popular in the digital art world, which is still pretty crazy. I think it's pretty crazy, but like Ellie, you said earlier, Bitcoin was pretty wild a while back. I mean, and now it's becoming more and more valuable. So if you could get a certificate of authenticity for a piece of art, and it's just immutable, locked into the blockchain, and then why not? I mean, it makes sense. It just makes sense.
And so we're seeing a lot of transitioning with every industry into something digital. And so why are collectibles not doing that? Well, now they are through NFTs. So we, like Peter showed the example of CryptoKitties, that's probably the first NFT to actually go viral.
Yeah.
At least in the crypto space. These are collectibles that you can buy with Ethereum. They were built on the top of the Ethereum protocol. And I think the most expensive CryptoKitty called Dragon was sold for 600 Ethereum at the end of 2017, which was worth around $170,000. Right. So these NFTs have a lot of potential, and we're starting to see a lot of them start emerging now with a lot more advances that are going to make them more secure. But what makes NFTs so appealing? Like, why go to a digital type of collectible instead of like your tangible, you know, Pokemon card or framed painting? Well, that's because NFTs cannot be split into smaller denominations. This makes them indivisible. They are also easily transferable and are fraud proof because they are built on the blockchain, which offers a high level of security and validation for these unique tokens. So this means that people can create artwork and mathematically have it tied back to them, have it very uniquely characterized to them, reducing the effects of others copying their work or claiming something as the original when it's really not.
Right. And this is, I mean, for those of you who are like thinking, well, I mean, I don't care about digital art. Like, art is supposed to be physical. I want to feel it and all this stuff. I mean, we're increasingly moving to a digital world where people are paying real life dollars for, say, for example, think of a game like Fortnite. They're paying for skins. They're paying for added guns or some features that are all digital that allow them to move throughout a game in a specific way. And, you know, value is really all based on various perspectives. So when you think about it like that, you know, why not be able to, if there's demand, then the price is going to go up. If there's a high demand and a shortage of supply, because people want that uniqueness in a product, like the uniqueness of owning this one cat. You know, 0.005 Ethereum, I just converted it right now, is $8.82. And who knows, maybe other people want this and, you know, they could buy it from you and you could just, you know, sell it for double the price. Or, I mean, some of these, like how you said, a kitty went to $172,000 back around like 2016, I think, or 2017.
And just to brush up on the topic of like demand, like Bitcoin, sure, it's not an NFT, but look how high the price of Bitcoin has gone just because people wanted it. The demand skyrocketed and that increased its value tremendously.
Yeah, what's interesting about Bitcoin is that it's not based on any like real, like it's not based on like standard financial metrics and valuations. It's really just, it's an asset that's based on demand and supply and demand. And the demand has been going up so much that it's actually shot the price up to close to $50,000. It hit 50,000 today. But, you know, it's kind of acts like a commodity in a sense. But it obviously isn't. It has other use cases. So, you know, going deeper into this, you know, there are very much other aspects in regards to this digital blockchain use of NFTs in video games or in betting. You know, you could win, say, maybe like, you know, blockchain has many uses. So one of the uses is the fact that, like, if I was going to put a bet and on a game, like a video game, like let's say Call of Duty or I don't know, Skyrim, and something has to happen, you know, if the player that I'm betting on wins by a certain amount, or if I'm right, this blockchain technology will automatically make this transaction. So I will get my money. The person who bet against me will lose their money, and the player of the game might get a cut of that. And, you know, that's really a huge benefit into these blockchain technologies.
Dude, you were telling me about a crypto called Chain.
Chain, yeah, I have it right here. So it's Chain Games. So Chain Games is one of these cryptos that it's at 9 cents right now, but its purpose is for just that reason of pretty much trading or betting on players. You know, there's in the esports world, which is a very much increasing industry. It's challenging.
Yeah, there's tournaments and everything. It's like officially a sport.
It's challenging, you know, the likes of, let me see if I can pull up this chart here. It's challenging the likes of esports, of NFL, you know, and like if you look at this is from 20 right here. What's this graph from? Right here. So esports viewership in the United States. So NFL back in 2018 was at 141 million, and it said esports was at 84 million, a close second. And then MLB, the Major League Baseball, NBA, basketball, hockey, soccer, like these are the viewerships in the United States. And esports is you know, people playing video games. And it sounds absurd, but it's happening that people really are paying attention to this, and there's a huge demand for, you know, this new form of entertainment.
Yeah, and so NFTs are infiltrating the video game space, specifically because there's a new ERC protocol version that is allowing the creation of both non-fungible tokens and fungible tokens. So ERC20 is also known as the standard for creating tokens on the Ethereum blockchain, as some of you may know. This allows projects to create fungible tokens on the protocol. That's how you get coins that you can trade on, I don't know, Coinbase or Binance. These tokens are indistinguishable, however. And so a new protocol came out called ERC721, which is the code standard for creating non-fungible tokens. It creates contracts to create distinguishable tokens with different properties. However, now we have an ERC 1155, which is really cool because now this allows for creating not only NFTs, but you could also create contracts that support NFT and non-NFT tokens. What does this mean? This means that you can now create games on top of this protocol that hold fungible tokens such as gold or arrows that you can trade and have the same value, but you can now also create non-fungible tokens such as like a precious sword or a crazy shield. And the value that this provides is that
don't worry about that.
The value that this provides is that now people, regular folks like you and me, can start making money by just playing video games. We can just trade our NFTs for money, and if they increase in value, the more value, the better for us.
Right, so it's like a collectible card, a collectible dollar, whatever, but it's all digital. And if this doesn't sound enticing, you're like, it's never going to grow that big, you know, whatever. You know, in April 2020 alone, their U.S. consumer spent more than $10.5 billion on in-game products, and like these are things that are just allow you to move through a game or just allow you to have bragging rights.
And the amount of marketing and publishing that's going into like the eGaming right now, it's just so much money coming in and exposure to like an audience, a wide range audience.
I mean, it's literally second to the NFL, which is like, that's crazy. I mean, the Super Bowl is supposed to be one of the most is touted to be, you know, historically the most watched event.
Have you guys seen Ready Player One? If you guys have seen Ready Player One, it's kind of the direction we're going, right? I mean, we're getting so immersed in the video realm with VR and AR and just how advanced the technology is getting that, you know, video games or that fictional reality is going to be big. It's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if it reached $1 trillion industry. So
it definitely will.
Yeah.
And you know, YouTube reported that there was 1.1 billion hours watched, an increase of 13% when compared to the quarter of 2019. So the first quarter of 2020, there was 1.1 billion hours watched in anything gaming related on YouTube. And that's not even considering Twitch or Facebook gaming, you know, and this is like the first quarter of 2020, and this has grown dramatically, especially during the pandemic. But
Twitch has also been doing great.
Yeah, Twitch as a company.
They got bought by Amazon too. I mean, Amazon's supporting them. That's you know, they're gonna do whatever it takes to make that industry flourish because they own Twitch. So,
I mean, everybody wants to be anybody who's like getting into gaming would like to be a streamer. And you know, there's this really funny video about like girls can't play video games, but it's like a testament to how girls can play video games, but it's made. I have to show you guys this hilarious video, and it's very off topic, but this guy is basically a Jesus. Girls, you know, he's basically trying to send the truth out and really just show that girls can play video games. You know, this is so Darman. Real quick, let me just mute that. So Darman, he's basically makes videos, very inspirational videos where there's like a protagonist, there's an antagonist, and it's gotten so big that, I mean, look, this guy has 12 million views on this video that says mom forces girl to play with Barbies, instantly regrets. So basically,
Barbie? Yeah, honey. Aren't you excited?
Well, I was hoping to get a
PlayStation 5? Oh my god. I can't believe it.
Oh, we know how badly you wanted it.
But that's what I wanted. Does it come with 2 controllers?
the music.
Don't be silly, Sam. Video games aren't for girls.
That's not true. My favorite YouTuber, Sniper Wolf. She started gaming when she was just 7 years old. It's my dream to be a gamer. Just like her.
So Darman, our savior, the one who's trying to deliver the message and make it cool. Because it's already cool. I mean, there's Sniper Wolf is a huge streamer. This video's gotten more than 12 million views. When was it posted? It's just huge. Premiered December 17th, 2020. And
2 months ago.
I mean, it's just when there are people making videos like this to this caliber about a topic and getting this many views, like it's happening. I mean, if you want to go more into the rabbit hole, you know,
This is what you should be playing with.
the mom gets really mean. She's like, she really doesn't want her daughter playing video games. Like,
Down.
so she's
Give me that.
like trying to win.
Mom! What's going on? Sam took my PS5 and she won't give me back my controller.
So she basically just schools her brother,
Video games aren't for
proves the whole
girls.
family wrong.
Give him back his controller right now.
But I'm about to win.
Fine. Let's see.
Dude. Yo, she's wrecking.
Man,
See? I told you video games aren't for girls. I better not see you playing anymore.
Oh my god, she's so mean.
Here you go, Zach.
She wasn't accepted. They even gave her a moment to prove herself, and then she couldn't, I guess, and they just like don't give her the chance. But later on in the video, it's so weird how they couple it up, but you know, she ends up winning a game and they accept her for her playing video games and whatever. So, but anyway, it's gotten so big. Someone like Sniper Wolf, who's, you know, she doesn't really play video games. She does more like reaction videos, but you know, this is one of the things that is a testament to even also of the both sexes or other genders are getting into the gaming industry and how NFTs will allow for bragging rights because, you know, in a internet-based world, an internet-based society, you know, you can't necessarily go up to the person who you're friends with in New Zealand if you live in Miami and show them like this cool collectible that you have. It's all online now. So, if I have a collectible dollar, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I could show them through the video and stuff, but online, it just makes more sense for the younger generations and I'm starting to get it too. And so is Chamath.
Your CryptoKitty is not gonna get wet. It's not gonna get stolen.
Right.
It's not gonna get bent, damaged in any way or form.
Well, because NFTs also prevent the other people from stealing it from you too,
Right.
like especially in the digital landscape.
Because in its metadata, it says who the owner is. It's
right.
And to change that metadata, you can't. Right. It's highly secured. It's on the blockchain.
And you can get one of those like digital frames. There's like these digital frames where you put pictures and you connect it to the wall and you can look at it. And it has an NFT thing. And it's like, I think I've seen them before, like a NFT art piece, physical. And the artists are getting into this because they're seeing the value. I mean, people like to have their the authenticity of.
But what's so great about it is that it's hitting, a wide variety of massive sectors. So yeah, we talked about eGaming. eGaming is going to be huge, but right, it's going to hit the global contemporary art sector. Right, in the year 2000, the global contemporary art auction market turned over $103 million. In 2019, it hammered 1.9 billion. So it's entering that sector. It's entering real estate. You might be able to own property through these tokens, and have that in the metadata that you own this property. It's entering, gaming. It's even being considered to be used in like borrowing and lending sectors, to be used as a form of collateral. So there are so many applications for NFTs aside from the value that they hold that it's almost a no-brainer. And people like Chamath and Mark Cuban, who I know is also behind NFTs and creating portfolios around it, those people being behind that is also just so reassuring that this is the new frontier. This is what's next. And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's a high probability that this is definitely going to be the next big thing. And in regards to real estate, it's really interesting because in reality, just first principles, what an NFT is, it's just something that is in the internet that can't be altered and is dedicated to you. So think about ownership in real estate. Yeah. I mean, if you have an NFT token that says you own this part of real estate or this portion of real estate, once you get it and there's proof of this, you can kind of upload files in there, whatever you need to put in there. The NFT thing is there forever.
I can see it getting rid of a lot of like middlemen stuff. Like your neighbors want to build a fence and they're kind of on your property and you kind of want to fight about it. They're like, no, this is my property. And then you kind of have to go over these major disputes. But you can just pull up the metadata of like your NFT token and be like, hey, this is my property right here. You see it on the chart. You see it on the diagram. So it's like, I feel like, that's a very simple and almost, rare example, but I can see NFTs getting rid of a lot of that legal trouble when it just gets to the point like, hey, this is mine. These are my rights here. You can't do anything about it.
Well, it'd have to also work with like the city, because in like a sense, there has to be some form of centralization in when you're dealing with real estate, like which is the physical world and the digital world, kind of considering that. But you might have like the right to some, like if it's like an investment property, like the fact that maybe you signed a contract or something and it's like in an NFT token, non-fungible token. It definitely has some more work to be done around.
Right.
It could get tricky. But I think the biggest value right now is definitely in digital art pieces or digital assets.
In gaming.
In gaming, yeah. Having a unique Fortnite skin or a unique CryptoKitty. It's cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and I know 2020 Pokemon cards was almost one of the best, or was one of the best performing asset classes for the year. So
I mean, for anybody who's also thinking about what they can do to contribute in the crypto space, I think like anybody listening to this should learn how to like code blockchain if you're like into that stuff. You know, trading or coding in the coding in the blockchain, it's gonna have a lot of implications, especially in the law field, in the betting field, the gambling space, which is growing like crazy. If you look at companies like DraftKings, and DraftKings is huge. I mean, they have commercials everywhere.
It's still federally illegal, right?
It's becoming more federally probably
In the United States.
Yeah, but I mean it's becoming more laxed about gambling. I mean,
people love gambling. It's a huge industry. So
huge
why
industry,
not?
and the blockchain makes that type of betting, sports betting, esports betting, which is pretty much sports betting at this point. It gives that ability for people who bet to be paid out and not have to rely on like a bookie who might be able to run out with your money or whatever. So thinking about that, and then also with lawyers and stuff, like if, for example, you have a new construction project and you have to pay in increments, based on construction phases, the blockchain technology will just take out the money from an escrow account, just as there's verification around a project finishing those phases. But then again, you have to kind of depend on, we already depend on like municipalities, cities to confirm certain aspects of construction, and that's the beauty of the United States. There are many different people, especially in a construction project, many different contractors that have to work together in order to verify the completion of aspects for building a building. I mean, there's a lot of liability that goes with constructing a building. It can't just be one company that goes ahead and just like says, oh no, this is done, and then something happens. That's too much of a risk to take, especially for people's lives. It's much more valuable to keep people alive than have them die. It really is, economically too.
Because you have to say that to like, because it's true. Like it's such a simple thing, but it doesn't.
It costs money. Death costs money for the government. It costs money for everybody. I mean, especially when the U.S. government stated like that economically, it's probably more with inflation, but that each human life is a base value of $10 million. And so, of actual like taxes and value.
I see.
No, not just taxes though. Like it's also like just $10 million is like. I mean, it's probably more. Let's see.
That's why we have holidays like Valentine's Day, so people can make more babies and add $10 million more to our taxes. Also, I was wrong. Gambling is legal under U.S. federal law. There are significant restrictions pertaining to interstate and online gambling, as each state is free to regulate and prohibit the practice within its borders. However, casino-style gambling is much less widespread, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, casino gambling is just, there's no fundamentals there.
So it isn't illegal?
No, it's not illegal.
Nice. So it's at a state level. Makes sense. Let's see real quick. I want to see what they say is the value. So companies large and small are going to disappear along with millions of jobs. Oof, that's depressing. That was a depressing thought. But we've talked about it with like James Altucher on the show. I mean, he believes the same thing, that people are just not going to, companies are going to go bust unless they change. Let me see a Command F. Value. $10 million. You're not worth $10 million. Wait, sorry, it's going to cost $10 million to go down there and get you, and you're not worth $10 million, so good luck. What the hell? What am I reading right now? I have to figure out. I'm so curious. But
well, I think honestly, like if you are listening or watching this, you are worth $10 million. You're probably worth more than $10 million, especially if you're watching this show. We can't find the exact fact right now, but I can guarantee you guys are worth more than $10 million each.
No, you're worth, it's about 10 million. So at least that's how people decide whether they should put like labels, and like, I'm serious, like this, like whether to save people's lives or not, if it's economically feasible. And $10 million is the number they decided in the 90s. I remember this.
It's the 90s though. It's old.
Well, listen, I'll actually link this NPR episode in the description, and then we'll end it right here. But
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you learned something about NFTs today and the e-gaming industry. If you're not already involved in crypto, it's probably a good time to start learning and checking it out. It's a pretty big space, not that big yet. It's got a lot of potential, a lot of people backing it up that are credible, like Elon Musk, Chamath, Mark Cuban. And go out there and get learning. Thank you. Bye-bye.
bye.